Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining me. I'm Burch, and Alexis is out today. She's ill, and unfortunately, she was really looking forward to this, and so was I. I'm very excited. We have a very special guest with us today, the lead singer of Steelheart, one of my heroes, Miljenko. So, hello, how are you?
Hello, how are
Thank you
you?
for joining us. I'm great. Question
Well,
is, how are
thank you for
you?
having me. Thank you for having me, brother. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing, I'm doing okay. Getting better every day.
Okay.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know or haven't heard, I just out of nowhere, I just had this really crazy scare. And it's funny is like I always, I kind of preach this to people. Not preach. I mean, I just say a lot of times that, hey guys, this is life and it's ticking. You have to live it because anything could happen at any moment,
Sure.
and it could just be gone. And just like I had that horrific situation in 1992, with the lighting truss collapsing on me. And so now I'm, this happened kind of again. And honestly, I'm lucky I'm alive. It was a very serious situation. I wasn't ready for it. And out of nowhere, it's like the doctor would say to me, he said, hey, man, this happened 1 in a million. You could have won lotto easier than what happened, but
No, they caught it early, and from what I read, they pretty much, because they got it early, you're expected full recovery. Is that correct?
Yeah. So what's crazy is that, I was singing in my studio, and all of a sudden I just got really dizzy and all this stuff. So when I went to the emergency room, it happens really quick. So basically I am beyond blessed because I have right now I have nothing that is wrong with me, speech or anything like that. I'm okay.
Awesome.
But it was legitimately a serious situation,
Yep.
and I honestly I cannot believe that I am where I am right now. I still have a moment to recover, but I'm beyond thankful.
We are very happy that you're doing well, and I'm sure some of the fans out in LA, you're supposed to be playing the Rainbow, I think, on the 3rd. Is that still on?
That is, as of right now, it is on.
Great.
It's been a minute for me to recover, so I'm just, taking it day by day just to make sure that I can give everybody my full milli power vocals,
Sure.
that I do. I just don't want to, I don't like to, and I don't know how to go at, 60, 70%.
Sure.
I'm always at 150, 200, and, considering the situation, I don't want to blow out something, I want to scream my ass off and just fall over and go, bye. we don't want that. You know what I mean?
Nobody wants that. So we have a lot to go through today. And I have a lot of topics that I want to cover. The re-release of Angel Eyes, the duet with your daughter. And one of the things, though, that I wanted to touch on real quick was, and most people may not know, the vinyl for Steelheart 30 just dropped, I think, 2 months ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. How can we talk about that project? Because
Absolutely.
everything about that is great. I mean, you've done remixes, re-edits, re-recordings, revision of some of these songs. So can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Doing this 30th album, I thought it was extremely important. First of all, that the fans and everybody kept me going in this business for over 30 years now. And to do that in itself is just as a gift, to be able to do that as a living. And I wanted to do something special, and so we went in and I do songs like She's Gone. I didn't feel like just re-recording it was the way to go. I felt like it had to be rewritten, had to be rethought, or something, a different new energy of today, 2023, And I went to the drawing board and I rewrote it. and we did it with a 40-piece orchestra. We did Mama Don't You Cry with a 40-piece orchestra. The song Trust and Love is 40-piece orchestra. And I've rewritten Everybody Loves Eileen. There's parts of it that have been added and rewritten. It's a little harder edge, but that's more or less kind of the same. But one of the ones that's really, I think, is beautiful is Angel Eyes. And I changed actually the title from I'll Never Let You Go, Angel Eyes, to this title is now Angel Eyes, I'll Never Let You Go. So kind of swapped it.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful song. I rewrote it acoustically as a duet. And I just had a different feeling. Of course it's a relationship song, but I felt it had even a deeper meaning where it was the love for one, whether it's someone ill, someone passing, someone, father and daughter or father and son or mother, whatever have you, going to war or coming back or going to the army or anything that is just something that's more connected, to us. I'll never let you go, no matter what happens, I'll never let you go. And so we went in and we wanted to do the duet, and we started looking for another artist, a female artist, to do it with me, And we had some great artists. But the first thing that came to me from the beginning, I knew who I felt it should be to do this with,
Okay.
And so after we went through the whole thing of looking for artists and conversations, yes, do this and that, I'm on the plane coming back from a gig, and it's about 8 o'clock my time. So the East Coast was about, I think, maybe 10:30, 11. And I already bought the ticket, mind you. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I called my daughter, and I said, hey, I texted her actually. I texted her on WhatsApp on the plane. And I said, hey, are you interested? I would really love if you would sing the song Angel Eyes with me as a duet. And she comes back, she goes, are you shitting me? it's like don't play games with me. Are you serious? And it's like, well, you know me better than that. Of course I'm serious. When I say something, I'm serious. Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh my God, that would be just absolutely unbelievably beautiful. I would love to do that. Mm-hmm. And she goes, when do you want to do that? I said, this week. She's like, oh, well, that's kind of early. I go, yeah, it has to be done this week. Well, when do you think I should fly out? I said, tomorrow. She goes, tomorrow? Well, I don't know. I guess so. She goes, okay, tomorrow. And then I texted her the ticket already right away. So It was like there was no time lapse,
Sure.
And sure enough, she came in the next night, and the following morning we jumped into the studio and we hit it. We sang it, and I think it's beautiful. Nice. I am beyond happy, and if nothing else, I got to do something with my daughter that I wanted to share with her. My career, my life, my love for her. And now,
is that the first recording that you've done together?
Yes.
Could you have even imagined years ago that you would be in the studio with your daughter recording a song? I mean, I honestly, I believe anything can happen. Just like, how can I say this? I'm not a person that says, well, can you imagine this? And because yes, I can imagine anything. Nice. And this is just, I would say, life presenting the opportunity and knowing when to take it and grab it and run with it. Because again, I'm going to say this is life, and it's ticking right now. It's ticking. And when you see something that is beautiful, that is forever, mm-hmm. that is joy and love to your heart, mm-hmm. you take it, you do it. It doesn't matter what it costs, because you can't put a dollar, an amount on joy, love, and happiness and future. No, you cannot.
That's my opinion.
So this video, I think I saw on YouTube, it comes out the 17th.
It will be, yeah. So the 18th is the song drops, but the 17th the premiere. So I guess midnight. I don't know. It'll be on 17, 18, whatever.
Yeah, something like that. It's and if I'll put a link actually in the description when we post this, where people will be able to go and you can sign up and get notified. So when it does drop, perfect. They can watch it. So let's talk about a couple more of the songs on the vinyl on the Steelheart 30. Were there any songs that you redid that meant something different now than they did when you wrote them?
Well, yeah. I mean, Angel Eyes right now.
Okay.
I mean, Angel Eyes. That's one of them. Again, it was like when I first wrote it. I wrote it. You know, I was sitting on a hammock in Rhode Island, and we all went out the night before. We all got hammered, honestly. All right, let's just get to the point, you know. And we were just like, and everybody was taking a siesta. We went to breakfast, and everybody had a siesta around, 12:30 or 1 o'clock or something. And I'm on a hammock with this beat up little guitar playing, looking at the beautiful blue sky, and I'm singing it just like, and I'm going, Angel Eyes, I was like. And we just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. I couldn't stop. It was just like, holy shit, keep going. Don't let me forget it. Don't let me forget it. Oh, my God. Keep it going. And I'll never forget it. I ran into the house. I woke up my girlfriend at the time. Mm-hmm. True story. I woke her up. I go, hey, I wrote a fucking hit. And she's like, what are you talking about? Listen. I literally walk up and I'm singing, I'll never let you go. And I'm singing this thing to her. And she's like, yeah, okay, good. All right, can I go back to sleep? She went back to sleep.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
I swear, yeah, it was hilarious,
That's the best.
But I knew right then and there. It was like, because it touched me. It just touched me. And I knew it was a hit. Mm-hmm. And then rewriting this one, it was more of just things that have happened with my friends, my family, just life, and there's just this depth of love in another level of just never letting someone go, and it could be a marriage, it could be relationship, it could be all of that. And that's the meaning it just brought to me. And when you hear it, I don't know if you've heard the song yet.
But no, not the new one. No, not the new version.
It's just honestly, every time I even talk about it, it brings a little tears in my eyes.
Aww.
To be brutally honest. I mean, whether it's, I don't know. I mean, it was funny. I was having this video meeting with my publicist and my daughter, and we were doing this. And we're all like little kids crying.
No way.
Talking about it. Yeah. So it was like, it must have something, So I really hope it captures and brings, joy and love to the people when they hear it. So we'll see.
That is fantastic. I can't wait to see the video. So I want to talk about the orchestral arrangements real quick. You said that you used a 40-piece orchestra on some of the tracks. Were you doing the arranging? How did that work?
Well, I have several guys, composers that I work with. One in particular that I've used a lot, which I love, is a good friend, a dear friend, his family at this point. And what we do is we sit down and we go through the song, and I give him the direction of how I'd like it and what the vibe is, what the energy is, what the picture looks like. I create a picture for him. And this is where we have to go, and this is the energy we're going for. And he goes to, is that the lawnmowers going right now? I can never win with the lawnmowers here in Los Angeles. I mean, it's a fight every single
It was either
day.
The lawnmower or the muscle car. I heard a muscle car start up earlier.
It's a war. It's a war of lawnmowers, leaf blowers, every day. It's just like, and it's usually if I'm doing an interview like this, you know what I mean?
Sure.
There he is. Okay. All right, I'm going to try to concentrate with this thing going behind.
Gotta love it.
Anyway, where was I? I lost my train now. Oh, the orchestration. So anyway, and so then he, it's like when we did She's Gone, okay? Mm-hmm. And he would. I told him, but what I wanted to do, the original version and vision of that song, is when I rewrote it, is I thought of Dracula. It felt like Dracula.
Okay.
And that is the energy, that is the vibe, that is the essence of it, you know. It has this loneliness, this somber, this depth of pain, of loss, you know. And I go, well, these are the notes we need. We need these notes, we need this. And we had a great meeting. He comes back and it's like fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And then we'll go through maybe a couple of, let's change this note, end this note here. We'll go through a little, and that's it. So that's the way we work. We just do a little bit of direction. I let him go, and he is brilliant. He comes back with just amazing work. So that's the way we do it. And we recorded it in Skopje, which is in Macedonia, which was part of my country, but now it's, you know, all dispersed. And it came out, well, when you hear it, you let me know.
I will.
I think it's gorgeous.
Most definitely. How is your writing going now as compared to, say, in your, you know, early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and through those early 30s? How's your writing now? Are you writing more? Are you writing less? How does that work?
Well, I'm always writing. I can't sit by the piano without the phone on, you know, recording, because I don't know what's going to come out. And also it depends what, you know, what energy is coming through me, what life is coming through me, what I've been through, what I'm going through, what my friends are going through, what I feel in the universe, what I feel on news, whatever it is, you know, it comes through me. You know, let's say like the Beatles, right? Those are the most simplistic lyrics you could ever imagine. But they are absolutely brilliant, and they're extremely deep, you know? So it's all about, for me, it's all about, you know, life learned lessons, so to speak, you know?
It just seems like, and the older you get, the more introspection you get, right? You're able to look at the things that have made you you. And you're able to actually express, for me anyway, able to express those in a better manner than I could necessarily when I was younger. So
exactly. But the key is, for me, really important. It's really important not to go into how would I say, you know, the old, I got to write this album because of everything I went through and all this. That don't work. You know what I mean? That's just too personal. That's for you to go, you know, deal with. Sure. It's more of like, let's just see the beauty of what it is and talk about the beauty of it, what it was. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at. And, you know, it's not about the boring side, should I say? Sure. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear all the bullshit. You keep that. That's your issue. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this. You brought up the Beatles. That's interesting, because that actually ties me into a place I want to go. What were your early influences? Like, what was the first couple bands that really hit you that you said, this is my music, this is me?
Well, yeah. I mean, I started out singing country music. I don't know if you guys know that. Like, no, I did not. Johnny Cash was my.
Did you really?
All time. Yeah, I was thinking about redoing a song from Johnny Cash. You know,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. I would have to rewrite it. You know what I mean? I have to kind of do it to my take on it, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, I started with that, and then because when I came here, I didn't speak the language, you know, and then my father really loved the country music, so he introduced us to that music. And every Sunday we would have this this kind of like a concert. So my brother and I would practice all week, and then on Sunday we'd have this afternoon, we'd have this concert, and he would grade us how good we are, and we'd record it. I think I still have. I haven't tested the tapes yet, but I have the actual reels
that's
of
great.
those tapes. Exactly. I mean, I hope they work. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. No kidding.
So anyway, but then you know, I started getting a little older, and I believe I want to say 11, 12 years old. I want to say something like that. A friend of mine, my brother's friend, he was an older kid actually, and he came in and he introduced me to. I heard Black Dog the first time.
Okay.
And it was the first time I heard it, I was just like, okay, what is this fire? What is this energy, you know? And as soon as I heard it, I immediately just went, bam, that's who I am.
No
I swear,
kidding.
no exaggeration. It was just like overnight, my hair growing, things, I'm in the vibe, I'm in it, we're doing, all of a sudden, 13 years old, we have a full band called Teaser, and we are like doing all Led Zeppelin, Bad Company, you know, and it was, I mean, we killed it. We sounded great. We may have a CD or a tape somewhere.
I was about to say, do you have any of those tapes? Because I've seen, you know, quite a bit of the old Red Alert days, and
yeah.
So there's some people that have posted some old VHS of you guys way like what, mid '80s, I guess.
Right.
And so that would be actually interesting. Some of the older stuff, doing some Zeppelin covers, and especially Bad Company. I mean, Rogers is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, he's great. He's Paul Rogers. I mean, I did a show with him. Several years ago in a private show, and it was great because I'm sitting there and he's just singing, and I'm like going, "Oh, I remember that song. Oh, yeah, I remember that song. Oh, yeah, I know that song. Oh, I love that song." It's like, fuck, how many hits this guy got?
Right. Do you still get that around certain artists? Like, and I know there are certain ones, like Sebastian's always been one of those that's a big Kiss fan, and he always seems to get giddy around, you know, or he really enjoys certain artists. Do you still have those artists that when you're playing with them or you're around them, you just stop and pause for a second and go, wow, that's still amazing? Like, you still get that fan kind of feeling?
Well, yeah. I mean, I get more of a feeling. It's like, wow, this is what I've listened to when I was younger, and I'm looking at this, and I'm just like, now it's in real life. It's a different energy, you know. I'll never forget. We did a show years ago, but we did it with my brain just went. What's his name? Billy Squier.
Oh wow. Okay.
So of course, we all grew up, Stroke, Man, Stroke, you know, all that stuff, and
Yep.
and all these songs, you know. And actually, we were doing a show with Santana, and Santana, this was years ago. He got caught at the border with weed, so he couldn't do the show. So we were open up for Santana. So then I got Billy Squier, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget. I'm backstage. I'm having a beer with my tour manager, and we're like, oh yeah, it started with a song. I was like, oh yeah, remember that song? It was great. Yeah. Second song came in. Oh yeah, remember this? Yeah. We were like, you know, yeah, going to school with this. Oh, I remember going. Yeah, look at that song. We're like 6-7 songs in, and we look at each other and go, do you realize that every song is a hit?
Yep.
Like, holy shit. I mean, the whole set is a set of hits, you know? Mm-hmm. That, yes, of course, that brings like amazing things to me, because it's like there is a person that is doing it for real when I was in the attic, you know, listening to the records,
sure.
You know, stuff like that. So, yeah, it does do a little fan thing. Of course. Why not?
That is
Feels
awesome.
good.
So I want to talk real quick about, we can fast forward. And I want to talk about We All Die Young. Because actually I caught grief for this.
Okay.
We did a song on our channel, and I mentioned We All Die Young. Or I mentioned some of the bands. Steelheart didn't get a movie deal like, say, Dawkins or Vinnie Vincent or Rat did, you know, with Point Break. And I was making mention that, you know, it was one of those things that before your accident, you didn't have that movie deal, right? And that was actually part of the conversation. And people jumped on me and said, "You're forgetting RockStar and We All Die Young." And
right.
that was a Steelheart song. I was like, I know it's a Steelheart song, but you didn't record We All Die Young. That wasn't the recorded version. That was with Jeff Pilson and Zakk Wylde. Is that correct?
Correct. We re-recorded.
Right.
So what happened is that I got a call. I got to give you a quick rundown. I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
I got a call from Tom Werman, who's a dear friend. He was a producer, and he produced my second album, Tangled in Rains. And he called me out of the blue I was actually in Connecticut on my way to California the next day, and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you working on?" And I said, "Well, I'm going back to LA to put a band together and get cracking, And he goes, "Well, hey, I'm working on this project. It's a pretty big project, and it involves a really good singer that is an artist and a singer, and then joins this big band, and you would be the voice of this actor, and it's a pretty elaborate situation. Would you be interested in doing that?" And of course I said, "No, of course I want to do it."
Mm-hmm.
And I go, "Okay, so all right, so when can you come in?" I said, "I'll be there tomorrow." So I came in. I literally flew in at 11 o'clock. I was in the studio at 1 o'clock, sang my ass up till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock to say, "You want the gig?" I said, "Great, of course I want the gig." And then we started rehearsals, learning the songs, what they already chosen.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the music director comes up to us in the rehearsal, and she goes, "Hey, Millie, do you have any music that may work for this movie?" I go, "I think I do." So I handed her the Wait album,
Mm-hmm.
and she comes back in the morning. She goes, "That one." She goes, "I want that song. Gotta have it. No exception. We want that song."
And that was "We All Die Young." That
We All Die Young.
Nice.
Exactly.
Okay.
We All Die Young. And then we went back in and re-recorded it for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But We All Die Young now is on the 30th anniversary album, which has been remixed, remastered, and parts added. So it's kind of like a new version of the old.
Nice.
And it slams. Not only that, for those of you who don't know, we have all this we have all remixes of EDM versions of We All Die Young.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Fucking good. Well, that came about because I love singing over that stuff, the EDM, the dance, and the electronic, and I wanted to do it years. I started in 2000 and never had the opportunity, never had anything. And just recently this year, I finally connected with some people that I really love working with, and I said, all right, I want to start doing remixes of my songs, and we could do some new stuff, and that's what we did. And it's called Vox Eternal, the voice of eternity, and we did We All Die Young. There's a club mix version, and so we're gonna keep releasing those songs as well as the Steelheart, but also the remixes of the electronic. Check it out.
Definitely. Is that on the Steelheart YouTube channel, or is it on the website?
You can just get on Spotify, Vox Eternal.
Okay.
And just put in We All Die Young remix. I'm sure it'll come up. And on the 30th we have I redid Love Me Two Times.
Okay.
From The Doors. For those of you who don't know, I was a singer for The Doors for a while. And Robbie is still a very dear friend of mine. So I was like, well, shit, man, let's do Love Me Two Times. And it's a dance EDM electronic version. It's sexy, it's vibey, so it's not your average kind of vibe, of what you may think that we did.
Now, were you a Doors fan before?
No.
Okay.
No, they were the rivals in high school. It was Led Zeppelin, and there was the Doors. And ironically is that, it was really odd. And I knew the songs, but I didn't really know it. When the manager asked me, hey, would you want to audition for the Doors, which was pretty intense, and that's like, sure, absolutely. He goes, yeah, you'd already know the songs. You just got to brush up. Well, to be brutally honest, I did not know the songs. I mean, of course, they're familiar from listening to or hearing on the radio, but they weren't. And when I really dug into the music, it was like, oh, whoa, this is a whole another level that I didn't even see, or understand at that time, I was younger. And it was awesome, man. I really enjoyed connecting with Jim. I really feel I connected with that energy, with his spirit. It really showed live, and the band sounded fantastic. It was an unbelievable experience.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, Robbie and Ray were both on that, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And it was before Ray died, before Ray passed. Yeah. And I mean, when Robbie would do this guitar solos in the middle of the set, you know, we'd get off the stage, and I'll say probably just about every night, Ray and I would give each other a hug. It's like, hey, man, I'm so glad I'm here. He's like, damn, I'm glad. I wish you were here from the beginning.
Oh.
You know, I was like, well, we're here now, so let's enjoy it, you know. So it was fantastic.
That is awesome. So are there any artists that you would like to work with? Like, do you have that one artist that you go, man, I would like to work with them at one point in my career?
I would say the first one that would come to my mind, I would say Paul McCartney.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, to write just the simplest, beautiful songs. I mean, that's what their beauty was. I mean, geez, the spirits and gods that were behind those guys, it was just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unbelievable. Because how do you write that shit? You know, especially at that age, it's something else coming through you. You know what I mean?
So many songs. So many songs.
Yeah, not just one. Yeah, not just one. It's just like a plethora, you know, of songs. So it's like
just a nonstop train of things that, you know. Well, and your music, though, it's funny you say that, because your music actually, for our generation, like, you know, Steelheart for me was my early 20s, right? My late teens, early 20s. Those songs actually carry with me, you know, more than I wasn't so much into the Beatles, but guys like you and Dio, and your music was there too, man. So
right.
for people like me, your music was in, you know, it's still in our playlist, right? And now my co-host, I wish she was really here because she's only 23, and you're actually in her playlist now on Amazon, on her Amazon Music. You're in her playlist. She's 23.
Well, you know what the beauty, I will say this, I'm extremely excited about this, and I found this the other day with going on chart metrics and all that stuff, and pleasantly surprised that our percentage rate is almost 60% of what do they call that? So whoever listens to Steelheart, they add it to their playlist.
Okay, yeah.
That's a pretty high percentage. I'm pretty excited about that. That's great. That's nice. But it's interesting because it's like I remember doing a show, I forgot where it was, recently, maybe about 6 months ago. And I had about, it was like three kids there, 13 to 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, I want to take a picture with you. Can we take their father and mother come? Could they take a picture? And this, yeah, of course. And I'm like going, holy shit. I go, so, you know, why do you like Steelheart? Why do you like my music? And they're like, because it's real and it's fun. It feels good. I'm like,
sure.
Okay. I like that. I'm okay with that. So very interesting, you know, to have that age to be connected with.
Well, one thing that I will tell you that I've noticed, and that is they're not exposed to the musicians. And I always say that we're spoiled in the musicians that we grew up with through the 70s and 80s, all the rock guys. And I've noticed that with a lot of people, including my nieces and nephews who now watch our channel for stuff. And they've never been introduced to guitar players like Eddie or Randy Rhoads or, you know, I actually brought you up as far as for, you know, one of those singers who can sing and play guitar because we did Tom Kiefer from Cinderella, and I was like, you know, he's that guy who can play lead, he can play rhythm, he can play keyboard, he can play everything, and he can sing. You're that guy too, right? They don't make musicians like you. You are not in the mainstream. They don't have the double or triple threats like you were, right? I mean, you're an amazing guitarist, I don't have to tell you that. You can sing.
Well, yeah, I'll jam on the acoustic guitar more than the electric. I suck playing guitar solos. I know what I want to hear. So, but I got to tell you, for those, what I did do is I actually, for a lot of the live shows, and I want to bring that back, is I plug into a Marshall, my microphone and a wah-wah pedal, and I'm actually doing voice solos, guitar solos with my voice. Like really, doing it like that.
Sure.
And because I know what I want to hear. Mm-hmm. But as far as soloing, that's just too much work.
That was actually the argument, was whether you would be a good soloist. I was like, I don't know that he would. I was like, I know he could play, and I know you're good, and I've heard you know
what? If I would sit there and practice, it's anything is practice. I know what I want to hear. You see, I know what I want to hear, and I know the melodies I want to hear, which is very. That's why when I'm producing and we're doing guitar solos, I sit with the guitar player. I go, no, go here, and I'm singing the parts to him, and he's playing. Okay, now you can go on your own here, but I want this, and that creates the, it's the melodic thing that comes through me, But as far as rhythm and acoustic guitar, like hammering and playing, yes, I can do that. And I can also, play piano. I'm not a piano player. I'm never going to tell you that I'm a virtuoso piano player. But sit me down, be on a piano, write a song. Yes,
that's all.
That'll happen. And
so the concerts. I want to talk real quick because I don't want to take too much more of your time. But the concerts that you're doing now, you're actually playing a lot, but up until recently with your health issue. But you've been playing out a lot, touring a lot, posting a lot of videos. I mean, you're an active guy. Do you see that when you talked about ebb and flow, right, of things that come up? Are you seeing that now with where your bookings are bigger, more, things like that, younger audiences?
We have, to give you a little story here, backstory, is that we have built a team, Steelheart Records, and I have such a beautiful team right now of people that are really talented in what they do. And we have been building Steelheart, focusing on Steelheart alone for now, and building the energy and the music and getting it out there to the world, because the music business is so different than what it used to be. And at the same time, they keep moving the goalposts when you think you got it right.
Yep.
So it's very tricky, and but we have been working really hard, and we have done a great job of capturing and reaching millions of people. And yes, it did build that. It did build the energy. It did build the shows. And unfortunately, I had a setback. I had a little life butt kicking. You know what I mean? The one concert I had to cancel, which I really hated, was us and Tesla.
Oh.
And Jeff's a good, dear friend. I mean, I love the band. I love Frank. I love Jeff. Yep. They're just fucking good guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we get along great, and it's a good combination, And I couldn't do it. It was just too soon for me, But these are the things that are coming up now, and that we have worked so hard to build, So,
well, in the grand scheme of things, for guys who have overcome adversity, you literally are the poster child for that. You're the Energizer Bunny, man. You don't sit, you just keep getting up, right? And it's like every time something happens, it gets in your way. It's like, okay, I got to clear that hurdle. It just seems like everything in life that gets thrown your way, you seem to overcome, and that's absolutely amazing. I look at you and I just go, I like that guy. I like that attitude.
Well, I appreciate it.
Always.
I really hope my energy and my, just my love for life and for me. Mm-hmm. I really hope that helps other people to see what it, that there's several ways to do this. Don't get me wrong. What I just been through, it was horrific. I'm lying in bed. I didn't think I was going to make it a couple of times. I'm being brutally honest. I was just like, holy shit. I mean, it was such a, moment that I was like, this could be it, and I slowly getting better, slowly focusing, getting the energy back. And what I've learned is so important is that it's really the mind. You got to be really careful of how far you go down into the depression side. So when something does happen to you, life-changing, that is just like real knock on your ass, yes, you're going to feel sad, and yes, you got to go down there. You have to go down there for a minute just to feel it, to understand it. But you can't stay down there, and you can't bring yourself lower than a certain level. Because if you go under that level, that's where it's very difficult to climb out. And that's where it goes to a whole nother space of no return almost, of years. And you know what? I look at it as like, fuck, man, this is life. I don't got time. I got to live.
Yep.
And here, I'm alive. They kept me alive again. Well, there must be a reason. Let's go. Nice
well
and
said,
easy.
Man.
Let me go nice and easy. I don't want to jump like a crazy man. I don't have it all covered. I definitely don't have it all covered. But I definitely know some things, And that's what it is. And I hope I can help other people, feel this energy and, to move on with their lives.
That is absolutely awesome. Well said. Thank you so much. I have to tell you, thank you for joining us. This has been a real pleasure. You are actually one of the interviews that there are a couple on my bucket list, and you were one of them.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you for having me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation as I did.
Thank you, sir. All right.
See you soon.